Yeah, today I'm going to talk about the current concept of stem cell therapy for chronic spinal cord injury to review my papers. And I talked about recent Japanese clinical trials. I have no COI. In chronic spinal cord injury, activated astrocytes composing the glial skull secret. Sorry. Okay? Okay? It's okay, no problem. Oxygen and that widens the damaged area. Glial skull and post-traumatic shrinks create physical impediment to regeneration. Neurons, it's okay.
Thank you.
Neurons are further damaged by post-traumatic cyst formation that exert physical pressure on damaged axon. Yeah, here is the concept of stem cell transplantation for spinal cord injury. The grafted stem cells can replace the lost neurons and the oligodendrocytes and the astrocytes. They prevent demyelination and apoptosis of neural cells. They can modulate the immune response and also promote the blood-spinal cord barrier disruption healing. Yeah, at first, I'm going to talk about the evidence and the mechanism of stem cell therapy for chronic spinal cord injury in an experimental model. We used neural precursor cells derived from iPS cells with condition ABC. This study was when I was in Toronto. This is a schema of basic concept of iPS cells for spinal cord injury. Basically, iPS cell therapy is autograft. In addition, CHABC is key drugs to reduce the glial skull, especially on chronic injured spinal cord environment. Previous paper reported that CHABC enhanced localized axon sprouting and sprouting into neurons distal to the region. It means CHABC digestion has the possibility to reduce the gliosis and change the exclusive chronic environment to regenerate. That's the reason why we use injected CHABC before cell graft. Now here is a schematic time schedule in the study. 8 weeks after spinal cord injury, we think it's mice model, so it's a chronic phase, we think. And after 8 weeks after cell graft, we analyze mass. Okay, next one. We use a creep injury model at the level of C6, 7. This mice had moderate severe spinal cord injury. The mice had some upper and lower limbs deficit. So I show you the results in histological analysis. Green labeled one, these ones, grafted cells, and the center is injured epicenter. And we inject cells, rostral and caudal area. And the CHABC pretreatment enhance the transplanted grafted cell survival. Now next, these grafted cells differentiated into neurons and astrocytes and oligodendrocytes. Our cell lines has tendency to differentiate into oligodendrocytes and neurons. Trans-electronic microscopy confirms the transplanted cells. So immune labeled one is black one is immune labeled one, formed synaptic connections, many synaptic connections with host neurons in vivo. And furthermore, many grafted derived axons were densely myelinated by host cells with some consists of more than 10 laminar cysts. Ex vivo whole cell patch clamp recording demonstrate that grafted cells were differentiated into neurons and form new functional synaptic formation. Here I show the locomotion test and the electrophysiological test. So upper limbs and the grip strength and the MEPs, so electrophysiological MEPs, were recovered well after cell graft. Yeah, after this transplantation and experimental data, Toronto team was moved to the clinical trial. And I heard they are now ongoing, these clinical trials. And now we have the kind of experimental data, excellent candidate for future clinical application in therapy, given their promising preclinical trials. Mesenchymal, I think mesenchymal stem cells, so BMSC, so umbilical cord MSC, and adipose MSC, etc., has also the potential for clinical use. Yeah, sorry, it's a busy slide. So now in the world, several clinical trials are currently targeting chronic spinal cord injury are ongoing, most trials under phase 1 and 2. Yeah, I showed a couple of clinical trials in Japan. I collaborated with Japanese team. So this isn't a chronic spinal cord injury trial. So you know, GCSF has the potential of neuroprotection, angiogenesis, and immunomodulation against injured spinal cord. This is the intravenous injection following cervical spinal cord injury. In result, we had the data of only a little recovery in ACE score. However, we have also confirmed the safety and the possibility of this new treatment. The second one is multipotent immune cell transplantation intravenously following cervical spinal cord injury in subacute phase. So this is a phase 1 study. So therefore, we just confirmed the use, safety, and feasibility of this transplantation for spinal cord injury. So this is my case in immune cell transplantation. He had a traffic accident and had a frontal B. So he was a C5 spinal cord injury. It's opiate case, and he had motor completely lost. And we did so decompression surgery and posterior fixation surgery, but no recovery. So 7 days after surgery, I injected immune cells intravenously in this patient. So miraculously, he could move his fingers and hand. So I surprised, but he disappointed. So however, the recovery was not a meaningful recovery for him. So his QOL was not recovered well. So this reality revealed that we need more additional basic research and a more effective combination therapy for the treatment of chronic spinal cord injury, in my opinion. This is conclusion. Thank you for my attention.